What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about why I am getting South of Midnight. This is a video series I do where I take a look at an upcoming game and talk about whether I'm getting it, not getting it, or I'm somewhere in between. And South of Midnight, I will say, is a pretty easy get, but it's also like pretty easy reasons why I'm doing it. Now, just to kind of talk about maybe the elephant in the room, I know I've been kind of called out before. I want to address the allegations. I say why I'm getting. I actually used to say why I'm buying. I changed it just because there's so many different ways of getting games now, right? Buying it, subscription services, like a rental type situation. So I say it like this on purpose. I'm not buying South of Midnight. I'm getting it through Game Pass. And well, let's just start right there. I mean, that's a pretty good reason. I'm a Game Pass subscriber, as I kind of just said. And, when a game of this caliber comes out, I'm going to give it a try, right? I lose literally time. I don't lose money, through these things. So that's an easy reason. The other reasons really to me are potential, and I'll get to that in a second, the visual style, which I'll also get to, and then kind of where this company has been. Now, I'm not a huge, diehard supporter of compulsion games, but you think about the past, We Happy Few, Contrast. Now, to me, I have very vivid memories of getting the PS4, and yes, I did say PS4, even though, now Xbox's side, right, switched in the console wars. But back in the PS4 days, Resogun, right, day one, PS Plus, I believe, so it was free. I remember getting the PS4 the very first day, showed up from Amazon. My best friend came over, and then we sat in the basement, and we played 2 games, maybe 3, very deeply. Okay, we played Resogun a lot, and we played South of Midnight. I think we also then played Killzone, and then waited a few months, then did it Infamous Second Son. But anyway, Contrast, I think, was actually a pretty interesting game. I don't think it blew like the ceiling off of anything. Resogun, by the way, in terms of launch games, was better by like 30 times, but I did like the weirdness, I guess originality, whatever you want to say. There's a couple words, but I really did like Contrast. I thought it was kind of special. It's always going to stand out in my mind. I never actually played We Happy Few. I'll give you guys that scoop right now. Never actually played it, but saw it leading into it and thought it looked interesting, just never, literally skipped it. And I don't really even know why I've never gone back to play it. Maybe one day I should. But now we're here. Now we're here to South of Midnight, and I think the game looks really cool. Now, okay, the game looks really cool primarily to me because of that visual style, because of that stop motion. I'm a big stop motion guy in general. I like a lot of movies that are stop motion. Even though I don't watch a lot of movies, I do watch some, and stop motion is one of my favorite kind of genres of film. So I really like that idea, and again, I like the potential. That's kind of it. We've heard a good amount from this game through like the previews, and like the last wave of previews for this game were kind of interesting because it seemed a little mixed, where it's like, well, I don't know if it's going to tell the greatest story. I don't know if Hazel, right, the main character, I don't know if she's the greatest protagonist, but it's just a unique type of game. Every time that I see this thing, it does look very unique, whether it is the visuals, whether it is kind of what they're going for, like the folklore type, situation that's happening. I like it. I think it looks really cool. And I think it's also expectations. I've talked about this before with actually a variety. I think I mentioned this with like Assassin's Creed Shadows, right? When I'm going into Assassin's Creed, I'm going in for like a different reason than what other people, might be going in for. And for South of Midnight, look, I don't think anybody, maybe some, I don't think many people are going into this game expecting, game of the year contender, something that is going to, just be like the greatest thing of all time. I am looking for something different, which I think is what, the themes of the game are, like what the game is trying to do, right? And then the visual style of it, I think, is really cool. And then also being on Game Pass, right? Again, those are kind of the defining factors. I'm not expecting it to be a 10 out of 10 thing. It's a game that comes out, I honestly feel like, at a really good time. I used to talk a little bit more about like the competition. A lot of these games that are coming out in the next couple months actually have organic space in between them, where like a game comes out 2 weeks later, another game comes out. You don't have a lot of games right now that are coming out like the day before, day after each other. That might hurt a game like this, but the game really has a couple of weeks to itself. Again, it's different. It's on Game Pass, so why not, right? So that's kind of some of the reasons. I'm hoping it's good. Honestly, I'll tell you this, based off everything I just said, right? I think it has like breakthrough type type potential where I could play this game, right? I've set my expectations and they're not very high. It's just, again, tell something kind of original or do something kind of original. And then if this game ends up like really, doing something spectacular, it's like, oh my dear God, I never expected something like that. So I think the range with this game can actually be quite high. Like I'm looking forward to what people say about like the overall product. And again, if it's not good, well, firstly, I'll tell you myself too. If I don't think it's good, I'll do a review and whatnot. But also if it's not good, well, a couple weeks later you get Clair Obscur Expedition 33, a game I'm very much looking forward to. That game's on Game Pass. This game's on Game Pass. I don't really lose money. I only lose time. Kind of a win-win no matter what. I guess maybe you could lose depending on how you do it, but I am excited for this game. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.